As many times that we have covered the story of Sandra Birchmore, we've never had an inside look at the police youth program where Sandra met her mentors and her future abusers until now. You know Sandra's story as well as I do. She was found hanging from a door handle in her Canton, Massachusetts apartment back in February of 2021. She was 23 years old and 10 weeks pregnant. Her death was ruled a suicide, but it was later changed to a homicide. A former Stoughton, Massachusetts cop named Matthew Farwell was charged with killing both Sandra and her unborn son. He was Sandra's longtime boyfriend while married to somebody else. And prosecutors say he began having sex with her at age 15, while she was a member of the Police Explorers program for kids. Sandra claimed, and Farwell apparently believed, that he was the father of her baby. But after she died, DNA proved otherwise, and that kicked off a whole new mystery. Who's the father? From internal police investigations, we know at least 2 other Stoughton officers had inappropriate relations with Sandra Birchmore. One was, wait for it, Matthew Farwell's twin brother, William Farwell. And another police officer was the deputy chief who oversaw the youth program, a man named Robert Devine. Unlike the murder suspect, Robert Devine and William Farwell aren't charged with having sex with Sandra as a minor, but police say they had sex with her as a young adult. Sandra met all of them at the tender age of 13, possibly even 12. And Matthew, the boyfriend, isn't the only one she apparently stayed in touch with till the end. A state police oversight board found that Robert Devine, the retired deputy chief, he had sex with Sandra for the last time just 8 to 10 weeks before her death. Remember, Sandra was 10 weeks pregnant at most when she was hanged. And police say that Robert Devine contacted Sandra on the very same day that she died. Earlier this week, we brought you video of Robert Devine testifying before that oversight board, claiming that Sandra was the one who, in his words, propositioned officers for sex. This is the same man who investigators say communicated with her online under the name Marty Riggs from the Lethal Weapon movies. He denied that and everything else, but the board said it had, quote, overwhelming evidence to the contrary, end quote. And Birchmore wasn't his only illicit hookup. The former deputy chief also was investigated for an affair with a woman named Tiffany, which ended in a flurry of restraining orders, harassment charges, and Devine's suspension as deputy chief, not to mention all the dirty pictures that went out on a Facebook blast to all his friends and coworkers of him having relations with Tiffany. And there, too, he blamed the woman for everything, said that Tiffany was obsessed with him. And now comes some choice comments he made under oath about yet another woman, a girl, actually, whom he says was obsessed with him. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. How many? How many women out there are obsessed with you, Robert Devine? This is the girl he was describing, by the way, 12 years old in 2001, when she, too, was a member of the Explorers program. You know, the program that Robert Devine led.
I didn't have a relationship with her. She was obsessed. She would have people drive her by my house. She would look up my phone number. She would use the other kids' AOL accounts to try to talk to me under someone else's name. It was uncomfortable. There was a lot. It was just really uncomfortable with her.
Did you reach out?
I'm sorry.
Please, I get so you get in trouble.
So no. Spoke to my wife about it, and so she was aware that I was uncomfortable with this kid, and we just had the basic, well, be careful, everything else. And, one of the big things when I worked in the school was I was never alone, ever. I was adamant about that.
Well, I don't think that's true, not if what you're about to hear is true. That kid that he's talking about, the one who was obsessed with him, made him uncomfortable. Didn't tell her mom or anything, but that kid is now in her mid-30s and says there was certainly a time that she and Devine were alone, when he was a 30-year-old cop and she was a smitten 12-year-old little girl. Years before we all learned the name Sandra Birchmore, Ashleigh Bell was a member of the same Kids Explorers program in the Stoughton, Massachusetts Police Department. And while Sandra's experience was uniquely tragic, having ended up pregnant and murdered after years of being passed around by police officers, Ashleigh sees some pretty disturbing parallels in her experience with those cops. And Ashleigh Bell joins me now live. Ashleigh, thank you so much for talking to me tonight. I'm really sorry that we're getting together under these circumstances. It breaks my heart when I think about what Sandra went through. And now I'm reading about your background, and it's breaking my heart that you as a 12-year-old went through some pretty unnerving experiences. Let's just start with what it was like in that Explorers program. Can you walk me through it a little bit, what it was like for you, especially with Robert Devine heading it up?
Yeah. So, you know, in the Explorers program, there were just a lot of blurred lines between mentorship and friendship, and, you know, between authority figure and a guy you can swear in front of, you know. He had a regiment. We ran throughout the center of town, but, you know, then he would, like, you know, smack his wife in the ass in front of us and swear about his colleagues. And, you know, it was just, we felt like adults in the program. It was just a little different.
And interesting. Yeah, that's interesting that, like, you're 12 years old and he's speaking to you in your recollection as an adult, like you said, smacking his wife's butt in front of you guys. Was it the kind of thing that a lot of the girls in the program had crushes on him because he had this sort of, you know, swagger among these little girls?
Honestly, there weren't many girls in the program when I was in it. I was in the first class. There was maybe one or two. There was one other girl. She liked him, but he, you know, he was more girls with very, very troubled homes liked Rob Devine. Rob Devine surrounded himself with girls who admired him that also came from difficult homes. Not the girls that played sports with a mom and a dad that loved them. Let's just put it that way.
Tell me about the basketball games. I think you refer to them as touchy-feely basketball games. Give me an idea of what you mean by that.
You know, I always want to be clear, you know, he never, like, touched us in inappropriate spots. But, you know, it was just maybe not the greatest thing to do as a 30-year-old man alone in a gym with a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds. It was just a lot of bumping and grabbing big bear arms around you, you know. As a in limerence over him at the time, I loved it, you know. I didn't know.
So as a 12-year-old, you develop a crush on Rob Devine, as you call him, but he should have been Officer Devine. Rob Devine. He should have been Officer Devine to 12-year-olds, but he's a resource officer. He's, like, really involved, right? He's running the DARE program. He does the open gym after school. You know, he seems to be very involved in all aspects of school. So if you're developing this crush, is he doing anything to stanch that or back you off and set you straight because he's in his 30s?
Absolutely not. You know, I walked straight up to his face and I handed him a handwritten love letter at 12 years old. And he, you know, he felt stoic, I think. He didn't, you know, I told my 12-year-old daughter what I did, and she was mortified. She goes, "Oh, my God, Mom, did he take you to guidance?" I go, No, he didn't take me to guidance. He didn't tell anyone. He put it in his back pocket, and, you know, there was no oversight.
No? So he wasn't trying to dissuade you from this massive crush that you had. Again, at age 12, was there something that he did to encourage it? Like, I'm just trying to find the balance here. Was he doing something to make you? He certainly wasn't discouraging it, but was he doing things to encourage it?
Yeah, I mean, it should have prompted him to set a boundary, and there was no boundary. It was blurred. It was come to open gym. It was happy to see me. You know, it wasn't there should have been a line drawn immediately. You know, this 12-year-old girl is a little crazy. Let's bring in some other adults. It was the opposite of that. You know, it kind of basked in the admiration.
Basking in the admiration of a 12-year-old girl, which is so gross. I mean, you think about it, you're a mom too, so am I. So
real weird.
Walk me through the time at 12 years old, you're doodling, and I think we've got some of the pictures from your scrapbook from when you were a kid. You've been making all these doodles, like I'm Robert Devine's girlfriend, you know, with the initials together. Like here we are, I am RCD's girlfriend, RCD forever. You know, real love doodles of a little girl. What happened when you found out that he was getting married? He was engaged.
You know, it was almost like he hid it from me. Weird, also. But yeah, the day I found out, I mean, I was weeping. It was a huge heartbreak for me. You know, I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I'm 12 years old. I shouldn't have known that anyways. So I found out he was getting engaged, or he was engaged. And, you know, I just wept, and, you know, I couldn't even handle it. And he clearly noticed and knew why, and he wanted to solve it. He wanted to fix it. So I call it the closet incident. You know, I was not sexually assaulted at all, but he brought me into this gym closet. And it's funny, he remembers how the door always was with the desk and the chair, but you know, it's weird because he definitely closed that door. I'll never forget that day. He closed the door, not fully. He pushed it back with his hand, and it was open about this much, but it was closed. And then he brought me behind a wall where you could not see from the doorway. So he said that, and that's wrong. He lifted me up. He put me on a desk. He kissed me on the forehead. He gave me a big old hug. And I was 12 years old, and he looked me dead in the eye, and he said that I was a knockout. Now, he remembers saying, we got a big age gap, you know that. And I actually forgot he said that, and my heart sunk when I heard him say that in the testimony. So he remembers that, but he doesn't remember calling me a knockout, and that when I'm 18, I need to come find him because he's going to take me out. That's what he told me at 12 years old, sitting on a desk.
On the day that you're apoplectic, you're in tears because you find out that the crush that you have on him is dashed. He's now going to get married, and he takes you into a back closet, shuts the door, picks you up, puts you on a desk, kisses you on the head, hugs you, and says, you're a knockout, but there's an age gap. And when you're 18, I'll essentially come back for you, and we'll be together?
Yep, he said that. He said that. Alone in a closet to me.
Okay, that's...
where I was crying.
That is just super appalling. Again, I need to remind our viewers, if you're just tuning in, Ashleigh Bell is with me. She was 12 when she says this happened. So now talk to me about the love letter that you wrote to him, because at this point you're now visiting him at the police station, like you're a regular visitor there, and you take a love letter to him to the police station. Walk me forward from there and tell me what happened next.
Okay, so the first love letter was about the first week of school in September. The second love letter happened well after the closet incident, which he somehow combined the two. So, liar. So the second love letter, I wrote a rough draft, and I left it in my room. And I handed it. I went to the police station. I handed him the final copy. I handed the disc, whoever was behind the desk. I don't know who, a man. And I said, can you put this in Rob Devine's, you know, and he went and put it in the office because Devine wasn't in. And it must have been the next day. My mother found my rough draft in my room, and she was not happy. I think she found it when I was in school. And she didn't tell me what she did, but I heard her talking to my father, eavesdropping, and she said she stormed in there. She said, what is this? My rough draft. And he kind of like stuttered, and he pulled my copy out of his trash. And my mother was so upset because he didn't tell anyone about it. He just went, threw it right in the trash. So, you know, I mean, this is 2001, 2002. So, I mean, my mother tried her best. She yelled at him, and that was pretty much it. With that second love letter, and then I joined the Explorers very shortly after that.
But shockingly, he never made any comment to your parents or to counselors or anybody that maybe this little girl who's 12 needs a little help. She's got a fixation on me. No mention to anyone. Let me ask you this, and this is a tough question, Ashleigh. When you learned of Sandra Birchmore, and you learned that she was in the Explorers group, and you learned that she had taken her own life only to be discovered that she didn't take her own life, she was murdered, what was your reaction?
You know, when I first found out about it, honestly, I couldn't sleep. I will say I couldn't sleep. I cried. You know, it was almost like puzzle pieces came together, and I was shocked and disgusted and nauseous, but I almost wasn't surprised that it was the Farwells, and Devine was even involved a little. And I thought she had killed herself. At the time, you know, and I thought that was the most tragic thing I had ever heard in my life. Like I said, I couldn't sleep because, you know, once I read the details, her and I started out exactly the same way. Exactly. I know exactly how that girl felt. I know exactly how she felt. And she, you know, I moved. I was lucky I moved. But she really bore the brunt. She bore the heavy weight of it, and she, yeah, cost her life. And I see exactly how that happened. I was her.
I cannot thank you enough for being so candid with us tonight over something that's obviously traumatic, and I'm really appreciative of you telling your story. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks a lot. I was just really upset to see his testimony and how much he lied. And he's a weasel coward, and I know he's not going to see this interview. Thanks for having me, though.
Well, he may very well see it. Again, I appreciate you. I appreciate you telling your story tonight. I do need to say this. I have to state again that Robert Devine is not facing any criminal charges in connection with Sandra Birchmore's death, but the overseers found his behavior deplorable enough to boot him from the force, even though he decided to retire before they could officially do so.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.